Anybody knows out there of a recent Scarlet that has played in an official tournament, I would love to know that. If someone can have like the last Scarlet that was played in tournament, that would be tough to find out.
And they have to like pull out the records before any electronic records and just like dust off some papers
like someone who probably played the Scarlet, like they would know themselves, and that's about it.
Yep, that was just me. It was just this one guy. But getting into the other side of winning semis, let's see what they have going at the moment. Right now, Neuz just occupying the ground, looking for the recovery here, and looking for a way to switch this up against them.
Ooh, that down air picked up 2.5 jump heights up, almost took off the top, but not quite. Now Neuz in the 1v2, you see him trying to shark as much as he can while his teammate coming back in, waiting for May.
What is Neuz doing?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm trying to avoid what's going on, missing a lot of attacks. Maybe trying to control the ground, at least hit Vimtankilo up there, but in came May, and ended up getting the KO off of that, but May stuck over on the edge and ends up falling onto final stocks. This is looking tough for this blue team. I hope for their sake that this is not how the rest of the set goes, because I think it does a disservice to this team and how they've gotten this far.
Yes, especially given like the set history going up against, you know, Wess and, going up against Wess and Vimtankilo, it really can go any way, right? They have a bit of a back and forth set history, but you could not actually totally tell that given this game. They had that 2v1 combo. Wess and Vimtankilo, they dominated game one. I do not know what happened. I do not know what happened with May and Neuz. Maybe they need a second to get warmed up.
I hope so, because one of the scary things that we just saw at the end of that game was that 3-hit 2v1 combo that was all signatures, which means, okay, technically 4 because Vimtankilo sent him into West first, but the fact that they can pick up a simple 4-hit and the fact that 3 of those 4 hits are signatures, including the ending move, means like you can be later stages of yellow, early stages of orange, and it doesn't take them it doesn't take them 20 seconds to do that. It takes like 8 seconds. It's easy to input, it's easy to time, there's few points of failure, and it can easily end in a stock, and that's very scary from a 2v1 combo.
Yeah, they need to be interrupted. They have to be stopped. Somebody has to actively stop them to make sure that they do not get away with that, because that was truly an unholy amount of damage output in that moment. So, going into this next one, let's see what kind of a fight that Neuz and May are going to be able to put up here. At the moment, Wess trying to fight for themselves. Red team getting kind of locked to the left side of the stage here. Blue team coming back down. Neuz with the lance downers and the reversal from Vimtankilo. Looking for the coverage with the neutral. Not going to be able to find it quite yet.
Mace making the legend swap over off of the Rayman onto the Stevani here. So we've seen several Raymans, we've seen several Stevanis today. I don't think we've seen anybody go for both options on the same player, but we still have seen that it's a very meta character. Okay, Wess is probably pretty happy to pick up 2 players, even though one was his teammate. Okay, Vimtankilo turning that one around, getting the stock off of it. Neuz over on the edge, in comes May.
And that's going to be, that side stick. We've been seeing that all day from Neuz, let me tell you. And Neuz was getting a lot of mileage off of it, and now May has something to say with that as well. Neuz's first stock is going to be gone, and now yet again we have Wess being the stock tank here. Patrolling up above, that was such a good dodge, putting May into such a disadvantageous spot. But luckily, you know what? Everybody else was too busy fighting that they were able to get back onto the stage. Finds that sider onto Vem, chase dodging to get a little bit closer. Excellent weapon toss, but that's not going to be enough because May goes out there and cleans up exactly what they were doing and needed off stage.
In comes Neuz with the stomp side air. That's going to take away Wess's first stock. But we also need to be looking at Vimtankilo here. He has been getting worked this game on final stocks before everybody else. May is going to meet him there, but Neuz is still living on second stock.
Okay, Wess right now looking for the sider, able to knock May off stage here. Waiting. Not going to be able to connect that side stick, but potentially huge follow-up. And unfortunately, that time around, Wess and Vimtankilo not able to get that 2v1 combo.
We see May over on the edge, has the gauntlets, gets interrupted. Dude, Neuz is chasing so high. May is able to get back to the ground. She's attempting for those KO options against Vimtankilo, the side light follow-ups, but no, unable to find anything. Falls over on the right side. There's the down air from Wess. He has plenty of time to get over, figure out what move he wants to do. Neuz, living, nice weapon toss, keep bonking on the head. It does give a jump back.
Okay, but that is going to be Neuz and Neuz just losing a stock off the side there. You know what? I'm really surprised the way that that game ended because I thought this was going to be going to May and Neuz. May and Neuz, they were playing so well. They even had a lead at a certain point. That was so different from game one. But once again, we have an upwards trend here for the blue team that's happening. It's not completely done. They're not completely out of here quite yet.
Seeing here, Wess, boom, hits the ground pound. Ready to set up over on the edge. But Vimtankilo is there. Even with a little bit of overlap from them, Vimtankilo is able to close out that stock. And now we are seeing May swap onto the Hattori away from the Stevani. So that is 3 legend swaps from Rayman over to the Stevani, now onto the Hattori. And typically, when we see legend swaps like this, it is okay. All right, Neuz. Neuz sticking with the same legend, and at least early on in this game, huge ground pound to take away that stock from Vimtankilo.
Oh, and May almost found a huge follow-up off that side. It does not matter. Right now, Neuz picking it up with the downer. May going to be trying to come back in with that side sig. Not going to be so successful that time around. Downer, okay, you know what? They're not fully getting all the combos that they're looking for, but you know what? They're positioning themselves, and they're trying. So as soon as they get just some of that spacing, let me tell you, that damage output is going to be lethal, to say the least. May, sitting only in the yellow at this point, but you are off stage against Lance. Such a good hit to get Vem off stage.
Vimtankilo, what did you do? Queuing up that hugely telegraphed ground pound that got instantly punished. Oh, dude, Wess is coming in. It started off with Vim, transitioned over to Wess, stock gone.
I cannot believe Vem made it back onto the stage. I saw those sweat beads coming out. I saw Vem like pixels away from just like the 45-degree angle slope of the stage, and then still ended up touching the wall. Okay, that's fine, I suppose. Neuz somehow knocked down to the last stock, as is Vem. And right now, the biggest thing for May, it is okay if you lose the stock. You have to keep Neuz alive. You have to keep Neuz safe. You do not, under any circumstance, want a 2v1. You have 3 stocks to play with. That's totally fine.
Yes.
May has plenty of room, but guess what Neuz doesn't have?
If anything, like, you have to, if you're May in that moment, you have to make the really hard decision of, like, do I try and go for something crazy, like, in order to lose my stock with the with the potential to find something, because then I can spawn back in, because every hit that hits me doesn't send me flying away from my teammate for 15 seconds while I'm recovering.
Yeah, that's something Taza and I talked about last night. It is super important that you do that, because you need to have that presence of mind, because now it is a 2v1. There is no stock sharing. May trying her best to target switch, but she has taken a lot of hits.
Neutral air, Wess is looking for yet another edge guard. That is why one of the reasons that you play this legend, or really any gauntlet legend in general, especially with the boots, though. Wess does such a great job off stage. We've seen him showing and putting on a clinic about why you want to play this legend, why you want to play gauntlets, why you want to play boots.
Yeah, this is a really fast game for all intents and purposes. Vimtankilo and Wess, they've got places to be at the moment. They completely obliterated that second stock. May is trying to make something happen with that recovery, not going to be so lucky. And Vem is simply backlining, letting Wess take some of those hits because Vem is behind in damage.
D-Light Nair! Interesting choice. I'm not sure what she was really looking for there, but she still is actually doing a really good job. Like, she got caught by that, but a lot of the times that she's been hit in this, it's also was like Wess getting hit as well, or it was Vimtankilo getting hit by Wess. So the damage was being added up on both red team members, so that if she went for like a D-Light recovery instead of that D-Light Nair, she could have got the option to get the knockout there. All of a sudden, we're in a 1v1.
Yeah, I am curious to see what Neuz's chart looks like that game, because it felt like Neuz wasn't around a lot, especially towards the end. And that is sort of like the double...